wow, that must have been loud. You guys heard me type really loudly. Hey everybody. So, I am live right now and I'm hearing myself over YouTube, which is incredibly annoying. I've turned it off now. Yes. So, there you are. Here I am. It's really fun to do this. I've been wanting to do a live stream about production for a while, and I was kind of putting it off because I thought, well, what am I going to talk about and what am I going to do? And I just thought, why not? Let's just do it and let's talk about production. And I always love seeing other people's productions and seeing how other people have put a song together, and it's always cool to learn and to hear. So I hope you guys think so too. Thank you, Ty. That was very sweet of you. It's a very sweet comment. So if you have any questions as we go along, I have YouTube open here, which is why I'm sometimes looking over there, which is into a parallel universe of myself 8 seconds ago. And if you have any questions or just want to talk about something, that is the idea. So please do that, because otherwise, I don't know, it might be awkward. It's going to be awkward anyway. Let's just agree on that. So I thought I'd start off while people are sort of arriving with maybe just playing the song in question for you guys, because it's fun. So this is the song we'll be talking about today. It's Paris at Midnight, and it is a really old track. I think I wrote this, the beginning of it, the start of it, I think is 6 years old maybe, and it's one of those tracks that sat on the shelf for a really long time, and I didn't ever really think that something would happen with it. And then during lockdown, I started sort of migrating more towards acoustic tracks and writing in that acoustic style again. And then suddenly I was like, oh shit, I have a track that could work really well. And so I brought it back from its dusty shelf and took it back to the studio, and that was really fun to do. So yeah, let me just play it for you first, and then we'll dive into Logic. Streets come alive by the light of the moon. Ooh, ooh, oh, 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 ooh, oh, 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 young ones fresh from the sheet, night air, beckoning, spread our silhouette out over cobble and brick in an unknown town. Ooh, 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 oh, 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 a memory in Paris at midnight, when the timing was just right. Oh, such electricity, making shapes in the darkness, so elusive and artist. Ooh, oh, 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 oh. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. Young eyes searching for trace of old charm, go a legacy hides till your eyes adjust. Ooh, 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 oh, 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 a memory, a Paris at midnight, when the timing was just right. Oh, such electricity, making shapes in the darkness, so elusive an artist. Just to be back again, just to be back again, just to be back again, again. Ooh, just to be back again, just to be back again, just to be back again, again. Alright, so that is the track. That is Paris at Midnight. And I have set up a little different scene so you guys can see my screen. There you go. This should work. Oh, Green Grape, you say my favourite song is Susie Dance. Thank you, I love that one too. And you use Logic Pro X too. Well, that's perfect because so do I. So this is Paris at Midnight, the final production. I'm faking it, this, or sort of like, I'm not faking it, but this is the mix stage of it. So it's not really what my productions usually look like when I'm still producing. I'm not that well organized, but when I take it to mix, then the color coding comes out. I am gonna play something. I'm just gonna put it on play, and you guys have to tell me if the levels are okay. Okay, so here we good? Is it too loud? Is it in sort of, should I put my own mic louder, or is that good? Okay, as long as nobody says it's bad, then I'm gonna assume it's good. So putting together the sound of this one, the first demo that I had, I went into my old drawer and found it, and that is this one. And as you can hear, it's very close to the actual, or just acoustic version that I just played. Oh, a little loud, I hear. Okay, I can turn it down. That's no problem at all here. So this is the original demo. A memory of Paris at midnight, when the timing was just right. Ooh, such electricity. Really cute. So what this is mainly just me, guitar, and this desk is the literally such a often used percussion instrument in my productions that I use that all the time. I just put my mic really low and then put lots of compression on it, and it sounds amazing. So if you're ever wondering what is that weird clippity cloppity sound in a Someone production, is probably my desk. But it's very funny to compare like that with the final production, which is obviously very different. And one thing took me a while to figure out was, at first I had like the guitar, let me solo that, and the vocal, and maybe some of this percussion. longer nights, stay in heaven for two, till the streets come alive by the light of the moon. And I thought it was cool, but I didn't really feel that the guitar was coming out enough. And then I thought, layering it with the acoustic guitar, I was listening to a lot of Kings of Convenience, and I love how they combine those sounds. And so I did that, and that immediately made like a huge difference. Just the difference of, here's only the electric, which has got, oh, I can start nerding now. This is one of my favorite plugins. I hope I'm doing this very, very consciously, because I do really hope that at one point in my life I will get a Soundtoys endorsement. I think it's unlikely, but who knows. So this is the Echo Boy, which is the delay of Soundtoys, and I love it because it's a very creative plugin. It is a delay, but you can also use it for loads of effects and cool stuff. I'm just seeing, are you guys seeing the pop-up as well? No, you're not. I wonder why that is. Oh, that's a shame. Let me see if I can add another window. You can see my actual what I pop up. Is that like Logic to, sorry, I'm in my OS6. Is it this? Echo Boy. No, that's just doing it double now. Okay, never mind. So this plugin, the Echo Boy, is brilliant. It is a delay, but it's also millions of other effects, and just love it. So that gives it that swampy, sort of mushy sound, which is great. And let's see. I see. Oh, there's a question. How do you EQ the different instruments in your music? That is a lot actually mix. I'm not a very I don't focus too much on that when I'm still producing. I focus mainly on the sounds working together and finding the right, giving each sound its right quality. One thing I have always learned, which is sort of 101 production, is to roll off the bass of anything that doesn't need bass in it. Vocals, if you look at my vocals, they all have a roll off in the EQ, a low roll off, because anything that is there shouldn't be there, and all it's doing is getting in the way of everything else. That. Oh, sorry, my cat has joined the stream. If you suddenly hear meowing, it's not me, I promise. So yeah, I love this. And I wanted to double it with vocals, but I wanted the vocals to sound kind of unreal in a way, and a bit sort of sweet, but off, or not off, but strange. So here's the vocal, the double. And if I solo them, you can see, oh, you can see it even. I cut them off like really short, and then put like a really, really, really short reverb on them. So they do this sort of whoop, if I play it, you can hear. It's a really subtle effect, but it is quite a subtle song, and stuff like that makes me really happy, because then it starts to feel like something from another world or something. What headphones am I using? I'm using just those ones that everyone has. What are they? These? No, Sennheisers, I think. Just sort of standard headphones. Yeah, too much low end on vocals. Take that right off. Don't need it, unless you have like a super low voice. But rarely any. If you have sub in your voice, you have a gift, my friend, a very big gift. So yeah. Oh, another thing I love about the production of this, obviously, if you look at the difference between the original demo and what I finally ended up on, I wanted something that, in my mind, I saw this sort of smoky, jazzy atmosphere. Obviously, like the film Midnight in Paris, I'm not going to be honest, it wasn't like my favorite film in the world, but it was very fun to watch. And I think that, I don't really remember what it was about, but I think it was something with a 1920s throwback and the jazz age, I think. And I kind of wanted to hint at that in a way, in sort of almost something that's bordering on naff. And then I was listening to Song Exploder, which is an amazing podcast for everybody who's interested in making music. It's amazing for musicians, it's amazing for non-musicians. And I was listening to the episode about by Haim, the band Haim, and they were talking about Summer Girl and how that is their sort of homage to Lou Reed's Walk on the Wild Side, because they did this thing that they had a double bass and a bass playing together and doing this sort of slippy, slidey thing. I didn't want a real bass on this, but I suddenly thought, oh my god, double bass is the most beautiful sound in the world. And I happen to know an absolutely amazing double bass player who was in my band 100 million years ago. And I called him and I was like, oh my god, I think I need double bass on a song. And he was like, I thought you started making pop. I was like, I know, but I need my jazz friends right now. So he came into the studio and laid down the double bass track, and it made such a huge difference. The way this instrument sounds is so incredible. Another funny thing is, well, sorry, the light is falling on my screen exactly, so I just barely can see it. This tom sound is, the podcast is called Song Exploder. I'm going to write it down for you. This tom is like the absolute proof that you do not need expensive stuff or expensive instruments to make music, because this thing, it sounds cool now, but if I take all the plugins off, it's just a really, really crappy old tom that I think a drummer friend just sort of left in my house, and I had a tom, so I used it on lots of stuff. But yeah, so plugins. This is my go-to as well. Again, Sound Toys. I can't open it because for some reason, I'll fix that for the next one. You can see my settings. But this is the Decapitator plugin. And it is basically, this is my cat. This is Ellie. Hello, everyone. Say hi to Ellie. Ellie, say hi to everyone. There's no way I'm locking her out, or she will be so loud. So the Decapitator plugin is brilliant. I use it on all drums always. It's like a combination between sort of saturation and an overdrive and a crunch, but it's not too intense, unless you click the button that says punish, in which case everything goes to hell in an amazing way. So the Decapitator is brilliant on everything. It makes everything sound larger than life, which is brilliant if that is what you want. Guys, so if you have any questions, by the way, about any element in this or anything in the song, just pop it in a comment and I'll talk about whatever it is that catches your fancy. So another element that was just so wonderful to put in this song was the trumpet. So let me play you a bit. Oh, I'm hearing two things at the same time. What have I done? That's odd. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that is Randall Hay, who is probably the best trumpet player. Well, definitely in the country. I'm in Holland, by the way. I don't know where you are, but I'm in Holland. He's just amazing, and of some magical reason, he made time to come and play on this song, which is just so cool. And it was quite funny actually, because I had these really bad MIDI samples that I don't even know where they came from, because look, they're audio, but they were once MIDI, and they sounded so good in a really crap way. Look. Oh, let's play. I was this close to not layering them with real trumpets. For the life of me, I cannot remember which plugin it was, and I'm so sad about it because they sound so cool. I think it might just be the standard Logic horn thing. Probably, I don't know. But I'm very glad that we did actually get Randall in the studio and dubbed it, because it just brings it so to life. And I love this part as well because it's so cheesy. And when I first wrote it, I remember saying to Darius, who is my boyfriend and also producer and does a lot of work on someone as well, I said, is it too naff? And he was like, no. So that was the perfect reaction, and definitely very happy he said that, because actually I love it. And to make that, this section, which is, I keep focusing on this section just because I love it so much, to make it feel a little bit more otherworldly, I dubbed it with my Mellotron, because I just bought a Mellotron, and obviously Mellotron needed to be in everything at that moment in my life. So this is just the Mellotron. So that's like, it's a shitty string sample, but together with and some of these chord changes, I just I'm pretty sure I just sort of leant on the keyboard, because I'm not good at writing those kinds of changes. And I remember my keyboard playing being sort of like, okay, that's very jazzy, but I love it because it all sort of builds towards this feeling of romance. I kind of wanted it to feel like romance and Paris. And the final sort of cherry on top for me, because the outro for ages just kind of felt undefined and didn't really know what we were going to do with the outro. It kind of felt a bit boring. And then when we had Randall, the trumpet player, in the studio, he was just sort of noodling over it. Darius and I were both, and we were just like, oh, that's it. That's what we need. We need a trumpet solo. And I just immediately imagined this sort of smoky Parisian street in the middle of the night and everyone's gone to bed and there's just one trumpet player wandering home from a gig, just noodling, and the sound sort of echoing through the streets. So cheesy, but yeah, that's the feeling I got immediately with this one, with that outro. Such an amazing musician, that Randall Hay, such a good trumpet player. And I just remember sitting in the studio like, yes, now it makes sense, this bit. Now it has like a vibe and a meaning or something. So yeah, that's most of this track. Do you guys have any questions or anything that you want to talk about or have see closer in more detail? Because otherwise I'm just gonna we're nearing the end anyway, but if you do, then feel free. Oh, Ty, this is the first time you've heard it. That's awesome. I'm so glad you like it. Oh, good. Well, so you do not need to know anything about music production to see how it works. I honestly believe that we all know how music works and we feel it instinctively, and it's just knowing some tips and tricks really in the end, and spending lots of time on it. I first got into music production when I was studying in England. Sorry, that was a question from Henning Dietz. I got into music production because I was studying in England at the Brit School, which is a really, really good sixth form college dedicated totally to the performing arts. And I had a wonderful music production teacher, Declan Cunningham, and there was just an incredible studio there. And to be able to use that studio, you had to prove that you'd paid attention in class and really be a nerd, basically. And if there's one thing I'm pretty good at, it's being a nerd. So me and my best friend, we just spent ages and ages and ages proving ourselves, basically. And then we got to use the studio after school, which was just absolutely wonderful. So that is the story. All right. If there are no other questions, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that it was a little bit inspiring. And otherwise, oh my god, I've got a sort of weird halo from the light. Yeah, I hope it inspires you to make music. And if you ever want to just ask anything or discuss anything, I genuinely love talking music production. So send me a message on Instagram or on YouTube or anywhere really. And also, if you would like me to do a stream like this about a specific other song, then let me know via the same routes. Because yeah, like I said, this was a first trial and it's fun to share. Thank you, everybody. You're being so sweet. Oh, Tom, you have a question. When you say you brought something into the studio, I assume you did some tracking in another location. Yes, I did. So I have two studios. This is my home studio, the one that looks like it's in my house. And this is where I do all of my writing, and sometimes almost full production, but at least the basics. And my boyfriend and I both rent a studio, which is literally a 5-minute cycle ride away, where we can record like loud stuff. So that's a music studio, as in, if you imagine a music studio in your head, like with one of those separate booths for drums, and then a window, and then a desk with lots of buttons. That's one of those. And so that's where we can go if we want to track drums or track electric guitar that is loud, because I'm a really good neighbor, and so I don't make very loud noises when I'm producing generally. So yes, we brought it into the other studio, and that there's much more space there, and definitely in Corona times it was really good to be able to work there, because, well, literally you can keep the distance that you have to keep. Astro Boy says, love this new sound, can't wait to hear the whole new album. I am so excited about the new album. It is coming. So if you didn't already know, it's coming on the 10th of September, and I've already got the CDs, so we have it on CD and on vinyl, and yeah, you can order them through via my website, which is someoneswebsite.com, which is the easiest thing to remember in the world. I still don't quite understand that website, that nobody bagged that website before I did, but someoneswebsite.com, and it's all me, like all the back end is me. So if you order a vinyl, it will be me putting it in a cardboard thing and putting it on in the post. So you can also, I think you can leave messages when you order, so if you want anything signed or whatever, just want to leave a message, genuinely appreciated. I think somebody's telling me that it's time to stop. For future videos, I want to know how the Orbit music and art came about and how they progressed together. Yes, that is a really good idea. I should get the Ram Jam boys in. The Ram Jam is the team that did the augmented reality artworks for Orbit. So maybe we could even do like a Zoom. I will look into that. I think that's a really good idea. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening. And I'm very excited to hear your responses to this. If it was fun, if you'd like to see a different song as well. Amazing. Goodbye and have a wonderful night.